My name is Kamana'opono Crabbe. I am the Pohana, the Chief Executive Officer for the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. I've been in this position for just over a year. Previous to that, I was the Research Director for the organization for approximately 2 years. And by profession, before I came to Ōhi'a, I was a practicing clinical psychologist out in Waianae at the Waianae Coast Comprehensive Health Center. I was born and raised in Mo'iliili. I currently live in Moanalua Valley. If one is interested in the type of responsibilities of leadership and being at the helm of an organization like this, and kind of very highlighted within the Hawaiian community, they would need to not only have the experience, but they would need a very strong sense of passion to help our people. Because our vision is to ho'oulula hui Hawaii, to build a beloved nation, and we do that through advocating at the legislature, in the halls of Congress, at city and county meetings, that sometimes it's a constant battle with other government entities, is because we live in our own homeland, and that which is so close and dear to us, whether that's wahikapu, wahipana, land, natural resources like water, that worldview and those elements define the Kanaka experience. It defines and shapes the Hawaiian psyche. How we think, how we feel, what we believe, and how we behave and interact with our world. And those, if we do not speak up and have a passion for protecting our own homeland, our environment, and our heritage, no one will. And so I realized that in this position, someone must have a great commitment and passion for people to thrive. Most people who refer to Ōhi'a attribute it to the god Ōhi'a o Laka. You know, some refer to it as Laka, as the goddess of hula. But in my work and training with Hoku, you know, there are different heroes. There were different key people in our history that contributed to the society of our kupuna, and symbolically, all of those who take on those names or forms, you know, are very honorific, have honorific kulana or standing. And so, Ōhi'a, the tree Ōhi'a, has many significance related to canoe voyaging, building of structures and hale. But that was interesting for me because I had that discussion with my kumu, is, you know, who is Kuka Ōhi'a o Laka? If you are a voyaging canoe practitioner, it could make sense that, you know, it's related to Laka. Maybe not that specific Laka o Wahi'eloa, but Laka in the sense of that deity's influence in canoe building. You also can use the handles from Ōhi'a wood for ko'i and so forth. So that's one mo'olelo I always remember, because Ku ka ōhi'a o laka is just one of the vaunahele akua of the uplands, you know, and it's part of a grouping of upland gods. Ku pepeau loa, ku pepeau poko, ku pulu pulu I kana hele hele, ku pa'ai ke'e. So a lot of them have to do with trees and large trees and the function of those trees and wood in the shaping of Hawaiian society, whether it's for canoes, whether it's for hale structures, whether that's for implements as well as mea kaua, you know. Another mo'olelo is that during my lua training throughout the years, we've had to not only learn the art of hand-to-hand self-defense and fighting, but we needed to learn the art of weapon fighting. So there are many woods that are part of the arsenal for Hawaiian weapons. But one of my first weapons that I did make was of Ōhi'a wood. And part of the reason why is our kupuna used resources that were available to them, you know. And nowadays, with the desecration of land, overdevelopment, and challenges to our environment, it's very difficult to get woods like koa, kauila, uhi uhi, even very rare woods. And if you want to make a ihe, you know, sometimes it's like 6 feet and longer, you know. But recently, the island of Hawaii has had a very strong and vibrant Ōhi'a forest, and we were able to get some planks from there to make weapons. My first ihe was called, I gave it a name, which is Ka'i maka. And I still have that ihe today that I train with. But it helped me to understand the relationship between the akua, ku ka ōhi'a o laka, and that form of a hardwood that is used in my practice that involves the art of warfare and fighting. And I still today carve. My preference is for Ōhi'a wood, because after experimenting over a number of ihe, actually it is a very, very strong, sturdy, and most of all, a really beautiful color. You know, once it's oiled up and so forth, it's a very good wood. The other sort of kauna in, at least in Ōihana with respect to warriorhood, is that the Lehua is a symbol of not just the first slain in battle, but the Lehua in terms of those warriors who are part of a large company or army. A lot of times the symbolism for ula ula or red in war are for fighting or battle colors. And the other kauna, which is red, also signifies, you know, the first drops of blood on the battlefield. So as in battle, as the Lehua is slain, you know, is part of death, but Ōhi'a is such a resilient plant. It's a resilient tree, you know, that can also be likened to like lava flows, where, you know, tutu pele can have the power or the mana to have very devastating powers of taking life, in the sense of lava overflows of land. But over time, the Ōhi'a sprouts, it kupus out of that desolate area, you know, out of death. They still are reborn. They still become part of the life cycle of their genealogy to reproduce and become a very resilient part of nature. You know, and I believe that there is one, and I think it's true for many other plants, but you know, there is a Ōhi'a variety, I believe, that is called kumakua. One who is likened in the face of her ancestors. So you are a direct replica. You are a direct descendant of your parents, your forefathers before you. And I think that's maybe the case in science in terms of DNA, likened to us humans in terms of our inherited mana. We are the representations. We are the reflections of our parents, whether in facial features, whether or not through body form, and same like the kumakua variety, where they have the same shape, physical form, and beauty of their parent tree. And so I look to that as another kauna that can extend to a Kanaka's worldview of how we continue to ho'omau, we perpetuate traditional customs, practices, and beliefs. The essence of Kuka'ohi'olaka as a hardwood, as a resilient plant, one who overcomes challenges. I bring that into the organizations as an expectation of myself, as my directors and managers, as well as my staff. The qualities of the Ōhi'a tree have multiple meanings at multiple levels that transcends to the work that we do here at the Office of Hawaiian Affairs, which we fully embrace. So much so, as an example, that each of my line of business and programs have a kino lau. So they have a kino lau, and we use that guidance, that traditional thought, to help to define the work that they do. And everybody has a different kino lau.